the optimism is always our main theme, main focus. You know, yeah, this is our message, and it has been always our message, and it will be our message till the end of time. I still have faith in humanity.
Zaher, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know that you've been wanting to be in this position earlier already. Karma is finally coming. It's going to come in March 2024.
In March, yeah. Hope so.
Are you starting to feel the excitement, or are you like, well, we've been hoping to have this album out for so long now, like I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing? Like, what's your mindset right now?
It's frustrating because last summer I was telling our friends of Latin America through our Latin American tour, okay guys, it's gonna come in September. Then okay guys, it's gonna come in December. Then February, and now it's March. So like I can't say nothing anymore.
Well, you know what? A March release is, for a lot of reasons, always better than a December release, because albums that come out in December don't always get the same attention.
Exactly.
So you know, we've got something to look forward to in the new year. And no, obviously this is because this is album number 6.
Yes.
You guys are far from a new, younger band that is just getting started. But that said, in the last few years, there's a lot of buzz going on around you guys, and it's starting to accelerate, or at least it feels like that for me when I'm looking from the outside in. Do you feel that as well? That you're starting to get a bigger audience, that you're getting a more diverse audience?
Yes, due to our concerts in big festivals like Hellfest or Sweden Rock Fest or Wacken Open Air.
Yeah,
you could feel that after playing, of course, and after all these echoes, you know, and and all these talks and the reviews of the albums, the reviews of the concerts, which are all good reviews. So you say to yourself that maybe this is going for the good of the band. But sometimes because the only problem that we always had is that we take a lot of time to release an album,
right?
And due to many issues, due to we are not together, we are like 2 in Tunisia, 1 in Georgia, and 2 in France. So it's kind of hard to meet, kind of hard to put the puzzles, you know, together. So maybe if we were living in one country, maybe instead of 6 albums, maybe we've done a 12 album. What I wanted to say is that that feeling of I don't know if we want to call it fame or accelerating. I don't feel it as much as you feel it. Maybe. The impact, it's not as huge as I imagine. I think so for now. Because I don't say I always underestimate our value, but I don't want to how to say overrate ourselves or overrate I just say, okay, we are good. We are like, we just keep on working, keep on, you know, being humble, and that's it. And maybe one day we could feel the real impact.
Yeah.
Like
Awesome.
like you said, yeah.
Yeah. And so you have a very sober approach and view of where you are. Totally. Before we dive into, because some of that may have trickled into the new album, and I want to talk about that. Before we move on from this, just want to double check here for one thing, because yes, you say like you've done some of the bigger shows. You've obviously, people remember the crazy, you know, Sweden Rock, where you were asked to also all of a sudden take over from Behemoth, which was crazy, and a lot of people were talking about that. Another show that a lot of people are talking about is more recent. You guys were at ProgPower at the US. You know, I'm calling you from Canada, but you know, here in North America, you played a couple of months ago, and literally everybody that I know that went to that show or to that festival, when I asked them what was the highlight for you, everybody called out you guys, right? And sure, you bring a unique flavor that we don't always get here in North America. The way that you infuse you know, traditional elements from Tunisia, that's something we don't usually see. But you know, on paper, that might not always work in a country like America. So does that, and you are very, like I said, you're very sober when you look at things, but do these things then surprise you when you see that response? I know that ProgPower is not as big as a Hellfest, obviously.
Yeah, but, I know, but ProgPower has a special place in our hearts. It's really because it's you feel that community, you know, stuck together, and people are not only fans coming, there are volunteers and the fans helping, you know, the festival. So yeah, you could feel it's like a big, solid family. Not like the other big, you know,
machines.
Festivals. Yeah, machines. Yeah. So you feel the passion here of Glenn, which is the CEO of the festival. Yeah. So yeah, we kind of, it still surprised me when you talk like this. You know, it's like wow, thank you very much. We are very grateful to our fans and to those magnificent human beings, because we only saw good things from them. We only saw encouragement and passion. And their eyes were sparkling while watching.
For sure. So, you know, when I've been listening to, like, you know, your music over the albums that you've done, two themes always kind of came back, or seemed to be very important, which were optimism and a sense of gratefulness. But we also, and definitely on this newer album, at least maybe that's what I tell myself, you know, themes like melancholia, overcoming obstacles. And then when you're saying earlier, like, you know, maybe we're not as big yet as I thought we may have been, or what have you. Like, is there some truth to that? Like, on this new album, do we see you deal more with, like, dealing with those obstacles? And is there more melancholia in your music today than there was before?
Actually, there are some songs who are true. I mean, when I say true, I mean, I speak about depression in one of the songs. So if you speak about depression, it has to be not depressive, but it has to be melancholic. You know, it's how to say, it's bigger than you. You cannot control it, because when I write music, if I write a happy subject or motivating subject, I would deliver sensations who are motivating in terms musically talking. And one of the songs, for example, I speak about addiction and about depression, and which is a true story. So, which happened to me, and yeah, unconsciously, the melodies are melancholic, but there is a gleam of hope, a gleam of light in the chorus that gives you that sort of hope and a bright future. Yeah, which is the case also, which is true story. So it depends on the mood of the subject. Yeah. So we use those kind of melodies. If it's melancholic, if it's hard, if it's happy, if it's hopeful, optimistic, like you said. The optimism is always our main theme. Main focus, you know. This is our message. And it has been always our message, and it will be our message till the end of time. I still have faith in humanity.
I do want to then ask you, because there's an extra layer that is added, whether you want it or not, onto your music. You know, you yourself, not the entire band, but yourself, you're in Tunisia. You know, Tunisia, that, you know, there'll be like a black metal band from the UK, and they'll be like, oh man, it's so tough to be a black metal band. Like it's like, oh, you think that's tough? Try being a metal band in a country like Tunisia, or like even more in the Middle East. I know that Tunisia is technically speaking not the Middle East. But you know, right now there's Tunisia sometimes in the news for their, you know, it's not always a given to have artistic or political freedom completely and stuff like that. And you're talking about, like, you know, we share these true and personal stories, but it's easy enough for people like me to go read your lyrics and go like, oh, you know, are they talking about bigger concepts as well? And I wanted to ask you this, because I see this with other bands, like, for example, like Blockheim in Lebanon, or, you know, Orphan Land in Israel, where they might just want to talk about depression, but people go like, oh, so you're talking about the political climate in the Middle East. And it's like, well, not necessarily, but because there's a few bands that are, you know, well known from those regions, you're looked at as this pioneer that has this, you know, how is that for you? That, do you feel that extra pressure that people in Europe and North America are always going to look at you like, oh, of course, they're like one of the few from Tunisia, so they're talking about everything, not just their own stories? What's that like for you?
I mean, sometimes you feel some pressure, yes. In the past, yes, but now I don't think anymore, because in the past you feel that you are delivering a message, and you are the only one from this region who are really well known and representing the region, the North African region, and even the African continent. Because there are no metal bands, not many metal bands in Africa. In the Arab world, also Middle East, there are some good bands also, like you mentioned, and but you feel that MYRATH, you know, took the path, or took the way that it has to represent well the whole region, because people would say, they would say always, they would say, oh, these Tunisian guys, this band from Middle East. Sometimes people say confused and say, this Middle Eastern band, or this North African band. So they will not say only MYRATH. They will only refer the band to the region. In that aspect, yes, there is a huge pressure. And in terms of subjects, the only before, yes, before right after the revolution, Tunisian revolution, yes, we had the huge responsibility, and when we talked about freedom of speech and the freedom of mind, like I said, it was the case. It was a huge responsibility. You could feel the weight on your shoulder, and we had to speak about that. We had to discuss, but not anymore. Maybe like before. Now it's more personal and more deep, maybe than it has before. I mean, we speak about many subjects. We speak about even in Karma. You could find we speak about war conflicts and we speak about domestic conflicts. We speak about depression and addiction. We speak about inner war, stress of life, how to overcome this stress, this everyday issues, everyday stress, and how to raise your head above the water and to continue even if you are in the middle of the road and you don't know where to go or which way to shoot. You know, you have to fight, stand up on your feet, and this kind of subject that affects me, and I feel them, I feel it. And it's true, and it affects also other people who feel the same like me.
This mindset of growing as a person that you have and learning and evolving. I'm going to use that as a bit of a forced segue from the lyric and the themes to the music as well, because we won't have a lot more time yet, but I do want to obviously check in with you on, you know, Karma. You work together with Jacob Hansen, who is one of the best in the world.
Yes.
So from a perspective of learning, working with Jacob on this particular record, like, you're far from a newbie yourself, but are there things in this cycle that you took away, that you learned, that you weren't expecting?
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. Even I discovered another aspect of my voice, of my way of how to say expression, way of to express. It's completely working with Jacob. It's like working in a lab and making multiple, you know, how to say solutions.
Yeah, he's a crazy scientist in a way.
Yeah. And he helped me a lot to discover more my voice and to be more precise on some stuff, to be more expressive, also to be more free, to be more comfortable. I felt love is in the air, you know. Love is in the air in the studio. So I was so comfortable, so confident, and I mean, this is the most, if not the unique time that I felt this feeling, and I felt free. I felt really like I can give all my best, you know.
Awesome.
And I think I gave all my best in it, and I'm ready to give more.
You know, all the fans that are with you on this journey, that are waiting for Karma to come out, they all want to see you play in 2024. So what can we expect?
To be honest with you, our shows will be scaled. I would say the new manager, we spoke with our new manager, Steve, and we had some financial issues, like most of the bands. And he said to survive for the new upcoming years, survive, you have to scale your shows. You cannot give 100% of music, dance, fire spitters, illusionists, and all this stuff, and you spend a lot of money, and in the other part you receive like few pennies.
Right.
So I know that that we want to. He said to us, "I know that you want to give your best. I know that you want to impress people, your fans, to give them the best of you, but it doesn't work like this. You will collapse. You will collapse. You will vanish and finish. You will not even find, a penny for recording a single song." So yeah. So fortunately and unfortunately, we're gonna scale our shows, which I promise our fans that it's gonna be as passionate, more passionate than before, and especially for Karma record, because we really wanted to give. It's not automatic. Karma, it's really coming. I'm not saying that the other albums are not coming from the heart. Yes, they were all coming from the heart, but it was tough to do because you have only one genre, which is Oriental, Oriental atmosphere, Oriental mood, Oriental modes, minor scales, and you had to deal with this only one genre. But at the same time, if you got 10 songs, they don't have to be similar to each other. And it's very, very complicated and very, very hard to do. While Karma is the most versatile album that we've produced, because you can find power metal, symphonic metal, gent, hard rock, 80s hard rock, all kind of, this is the result of our childhood influences. And awesome. we did it with big heart, and we did it with such joy and such fun that we didn't calculate it. We didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna take a risk." We said, "Oh, fuck it." Sorry if I curse.
You can say whatever you want. Don't worry.
Yeah, we said, "Fuck it." We're gonna play music, and that's it. In every song, I guess, we knew that. We didn't say that to ourselves, but we knew that. We knew that every song, even if we will play jazz, you could hear and feel that aftertaste of MYRATH. You could feel that soul and spirit in each song. Mm-hmm. Like when I spoke with Max, our label CEO.
Yeah.
And after the pre-production is done, I called him and I told him that, listen, it's gonna be different. It's not like before. He said, "What do you mean?" I told him that it's not as Oriental as you would expect, And he said, "Listen, even if you will play jazz, I don't care. The most important thing for me is that you are authentic. You have to be authentic. And this is the most important thing. Even you will play jazz or dubstep or whatever, but you have to be authentic. I have to feel that authenticity in your music. Even if you will play jazz music, it doesn't matter. You have to be true to yourself." And I guess with Karma, that's what we done.
It will be exciting for everybody to once the record is released to the broader audience, to be on that journey with you, and to come to what I can only now already imagine are going to be intense live shows. And that's a lot of awesomeness to look forward to. Zaher, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Your passion is infectious, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome for everybody to listen to the full album. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, and I wish you the best with this release, man.
Thank you. I hope to see you in life, like real life.
Exactly. We'll make that work. You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.